This is a podcast from Torfaen Voluntary Alliance. Hello, I'm Patrick Downs. Welcome to Word from the Third, where we'll be taking a look at all the big stories and news from the third sector here in Torfaen. Today on Word from the Third, I'm joined by Rob from Blaen Bran Community Woodland. Now, Rob, tell us a little bit about Blaen Bran.
I'm sure a lot of people who will be listening will be familiar with Blaen Bran, but for those who aren't, it's a 100-acre woodland site which is located just north of Upper Bran. It's got a lot of variety of different trees. We have beech, oak, Scots pine and larch. It's a very attractive area which has a wild diversity of flora and fauna, lots of wildlife. And what we're doing as a group since we came into existence in 2004 is to work to preserve that environment and to develop it for use as a community facility. When it was originally managed as a woodland by the Forestry Commission, it was with the purpose of selling timber. So it tended to be more Scots pine and larch. But what we're doing now is concentrating on developing indigenous species so that there is a long-term broadleaf planning program. So that's basically what the woodland is about.
So tell me a bit more about some of the projects that you're working on at the moment there.
Okay, well, there's the routine things that we do. There's a lot of work around maintenance. So, for example, a lot of it will be seasonally driven. So at this time of the year, we're cutting back brash and bracken to reinstate footpaths. We'll be repairing fencing. In fact, there was one section of fencing that needed repairing at the Mountain Air Gate because somebody had damaged that. We also clear blockages. We've got 5 different water tables coming down off the side of the mountain, so we need to keep that clear. So we unblock culverts and drains. We also deal with fallen trees as well, because obviously in an environment like that, you are going to have problems of that nature. So we need to make sure the environment's secure. But we also do other things, like, for example, we've just completed a planting exercise between February and April where we planted some 2,800 trees. But we also do things like guided walks, craft events, and things of that nature.
What would you say then is the most enjoyable or maybe rewarding aspect of what Blaen Bran does?
That's a good question. I think, first of all, being in that environment is incredibly rewarding. It's a great place to be. But I think it's about that sense of achievement of actually doing something, whatever the particular task you're doing is. There's a very tangible outcome in terms of the work you're doing and the benefit you can see from it, whether you're unblocking drains or culverts, whether you're reinstating footpaths, removing trees that would prevent use of the woodland. And one of the things that's particularly rewarding, because the nature of what we do means we're very visible. We have very good dialogue with the regular users of the woodland. So whether they're walkers, dog walkers, horse riders, and other groups and individuals. And the feedback we get is very positive because people appreciate what we're doing. I think it's generally recognized that spending time in nature is good for physical and mental health. And by creating that environment or helping to sustain that environment, you not only get that benefit yourself, but you're enabling other people to do the same. And I think people recognize that. So when doing the work is very rewarding, but also the feedback that you get from the public is also very, very rewarding as well.
Now, if I could grant a wish for Blaen Bran, if I was a genie, what would that one wish be?
More volunteers. I mean, we have a very active membership who are incredibly supportive, and without them, we wouldn't be able to function. We have a small cluster of active volunteers who are very much involved in the day-to-day running and maintenance of the site. But I think we recognise that with a 100-acre site, I believe we are the 3rd biggest woodland in the whole of Wales. And whilst the group we have are dedicated and work extremely hard, you could always do with a few more volunteers. Now, we have put something on social media recently because we've got a project that we're doing at the moment with Transport for Wales and the Heritage Lottery Fund to reinstate 3 footpaths and access routes through the woodland. And that project has started. But what we're doing, we're actively encouraging volunteers from within the local community to come and help and be part of that. And we've put notices up to that effect. So that's it, really. I mean, we've been very fortunate. We've had a lot of financial support from different groups like Transport for Wales, Torfaen, County Borough Council, and other people. So we're very fortunate in that respect. But I think as a group, what we could really benefit from is perhaps an injection of more volunteers.
And on that subject, what do people need to do to get in touch, to find out more, to volunteer?
I think if people go to our website, www.blaenbran.uk, it's quite an easily navigated website, and there's a members page there. There's a contact us page there as well. And what people can do, if they can contact us through inquiries at Blaen Bran, and that will come directly to me. And any opportunity that someone might have, they could become a member, they could become a volunteer, even if they just support some of our events. All contributions are greatly appreciated.
Rob from Blaen Bran, thanks for joining me today.
Okay, thanks very much.
And don't forget, if you want to contact TVA, Torfaen Voluntary Alliance, for anything regarding the third sector here in Torfaen, get in touch regarding funding, volunteering, any kind of support or governance. info@tvawales.org.uk. You can also find us on social media, on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at TVA Wales, or of course on the website. It's all there at tvawales.org.uk. This podcast is produced by TVA, Torfaen Voluntary Alliance.